Did you know that it all started with just one cell? We started our journey on this earth with a single cell, and now here we are with around 30 trillion cells making up a complete human. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's true not only humans, but all living organisms on earth begin their life from a single cell. So now you might have another question, that how do some organisms grow over time while others like amoeba remain as single cells and not grow at all? Well, it's quite simple. Microorganisms exist as single-celled organisms, while larger organisms that grow over time are multicellular. That's because they multiply their cells, which makes them big enough for us to see with the naked eye. But have you ever thought about how a single cell can become multicellular? It's a fascinating process, and it all starts with the cell cycle and cell division. And in this video, we will be discussing the concept of the cell cycle only. This is a pretty important topic for NEET, and there are usually around 7 to 8 questions asked from this chapter on the exam. So, let's get started by understanding the definition of the cell cycle. The cell cycle is a series of steps that involves cell growth, duplication of genetic material, and cell division resulting into identical cells. In other words, a cell goes through different steps to grow, copy its DNA, and divide into 2 or 4 new cells. This is what we call the cell cycle. Now, let's take a look at the definition of cell cycle given by NCERT. The sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes the other constituents of the cell, and eventually divides into 2 daughter cells is termed cell cycle. Also, you can learn this chapter through NCERT solutions, NCERT exemplars, and revision notes, which are available in the EduRev app. Pretty simple to understand now, right? Now let's move on and understand what exactly is cell division. So, as the name suggests, cell division is a process in which a single parent cell divides into either 2 identical cells or 4 cells each with half the number of chromosomes. So can we say that the process of cell division is a part of the cell cycle? That's right, that's how it is. Now tell me one thing, do all the cells divide in the same way? Think about it. No way. Every cell in our body has a different tendency to grow and divide, so definitely not. Some cells divide throughout their lifetime while others don't. Like our skin cells are constantly busy, replacing themselves due to everyday wear and tear. They divide very frequently, while our nerve cells, once formed, remain steady, never dividing again. Now getting back to the cell cycle, as the name suggests, the process occurs in phases or stages, the series of steps that repeat in cyclic manner, but for our convenience, we majorly divide a cell cycle into 2 phases. The first phase is called the interphase, and the next is the M phase, which represents either mitotic or meiotic phase. Let's have a quick look at these phases. The interphase prepares the cell for cell division, hence, it's also called the preparatory phase. In this phase, the cell grows and makes a copy of its genetic material, the DNA. On the other hand, the M phase is the dividing phase of the cell cycle. It carries out the task of actual cell division after going through a series of steps. The cell first divides the nucleus into 2 sets, followed by the division of the cytoplasm. This gives rise to 2 identical daughter cells, and this process of cell division is called mitosis. Similarly, if instead of once, a parent cell divides twice to give 4 daughter cells, each with half the amount of genetic material compared to the parent cells. This type of division is called meiosis, which is useful in the production of gametes. Now, come to think of it, preparing a meal is no different than preparing a cell for division. The interphase, the stage where the cell prepares itself for division, can take a lot longer than the division itself. Just like when we are preparing a meal, getting all the ingredients ready can take much longer than the actual cooking. The same goes for the most crucial and challenging tasks like division of the nucleus and cytoplasm. The cell takes a lot of time to prepare for the division. So, while the interphase and the M phase might not have the same duration, the interphase usually lasts much longer, making it the more time-consuming phase. You will be amazed to learn that the interphase consumes 95% of the time it takes for one cell cycle to complete. That's because during the interphase, all the necessary functions like growth, duplication of genetic material, synthesis of new compounds, and organelles occur. And the M phase, which is the part of the cycle when new cells are formed, only takes up the remaining 5% of the time. We hope that you have understood the topic. Now, here is a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. Thank you.